because they know I work with the media and whatnot, but I want to go there and do my part to, tactically spar and box as well as I can. I don't think sparring will be light. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a championship level training camp, including any of my own training camps where sparring was light. So I expect some heavy sparring. I expect me not to be the only sparring partner on the left. I expect the heaviest sparring to be heavy with everyone he goes in there with, including myself. So I don't expect it to be a cakewalk or a picnic. I expect a good training camp, and I expect to hopefully see a guy who's making improvements through the duration of the training camp, and see that at least I'm playing my part in the camp. He's got a good stand-up style and mixed martial arts, So I think that's what people are angling towards. His stand-up is good, but obviously his stand-up also includes knees and kicks, which he's not going to be able to use. His balance is going to have to change a little bit. His technique is going to have to change a little bit. One thing about Conor McGregor, he's an athlete. You know what I'm saying? He's an athlete, and he's a winner at that. So those two things put together, he's a winner and he's an athlete. I expect the guy to physically probably adapt his style to understand how to box well in a few months. I expect him to make some progress in that regard. My concern more is the psychological part of it, the mental part of it. Like certain moves that he's going to be making, he's going to understand why he should be making them and where he should be going in certain situations. Should he be punching? Should he be bailing? Should he be going out? Should he be holding? Should he be clenching? Should he be running? Should he be punching? Should he be leading? Should he be countering? Those kind of situations where you have to think your way through key moments in the fight. Those are more my concern with McGregor, because those are things that you probably learn over the course of a certain amount of years and not over a certain amount of a few months in a training camp. The tactical part of it, because he's such a good athlete and that he's a winner in his mind, I think he's going to blossom in the tactical part of it. And I expect the guy who physically knows how to handle himself in there. But it's the decision making and the key points, even to understand how to set up a fighter, or to understand, even more importantly, when you are the one being set up, and to understand it so you can prevent that from happening. Those are things that probably take a little bit more time to understand. He may understand those things in a cage when there's kicks, knees, and takedowns and whatnot, but does he understand it when there's just fists involved and the angles of boxing involved? So those are more my concerns, and those are more of the situations where maybe the reason I'm being brought to camp for, and to help out.
I agree with that, because at the end of the day, boxing is different from UFC. Obviously, you know that. But the point is, the small details, which Casual Boxing Talk TV is here to explain. Small details matter in boxing. The little things is when you need to attack, when you need to back up off your attack, when a guy is setting you up, how to know when a guy is setting you up. Things like that. Conor's going to need some good knowledge. I think Paulie would be the guy to give it to him. At the end of the day, I just don't want Paulie to make Conor think too much. You understand? Don't have him over saturate him with information to bring into the ring, because I like a fighter. I think he should go into the fight knowing, the important things, the small things, like I explained, but also go in there and be you. When you try to change a fighter, then the fighter tries to go in there with Paulie said do this, Paulie said do that. And at all that time, Mayweather working. You understand me? So I don't want him to oversaturate and overthink fighting Mayweather.
How does somebody beat Mayweather? What are his real weaknesses, if there are any?
I think the trick to Mayweather is this, because you saw Judah have early success. You saw Shane Mosley have early success. The thing about Judah is, he's actually a southpaw as well as Conor is. Here's the thing: Mayweather will adjust to you, no matter what success you have against him. If you come in with some sort of success, having been successful in a round or two in the early part of the fight against him, you have to be prepared to be able to be like Bruce Lee used to say, like water, and kind of be fluid and adjust, because Mayweather will adjust to what you're doing. If you're giving him problems, he will figure it out, and he will eliminate that problem and then start to give you problems back. So you need to be able to adjust right back to him. So you have to have some dimensions to your game. Some, like an onion, you have to have some layers to you, and I think that's really the key. And even that's not a guarantee, but if you have those layers and you have those dimensions, you'll be able to at least, you would hope to be able at least to adjust back to whatever Floyd's adjustments will be, because without a doubt, Floyd will make the adjustments. If you are one of those few fighters that actually give him problems to begin with, because most guys will never even give him a problem. But there's been those handful of fighters that have given him certain problems, and Mayweather was able to adjust. So if you are in that elite class where you're giving Mayweather some problems, you got to be able to make those adjustments once Mayweather adjusts back to you.
So how do you make a game plan with someone like that? Because if you come in with a plan and then he changes, even if you have a backup plan, he may change in a way that makes the backup plan irrelevant. So do you strategize around him? What's the best way to prepare for a guy like that?
The other thing with Conor, I don't think he's going to be able to have been boxing long enough to have such a distinct game plan. So he's going to have to figure out these 3 or 4 key weapons in his arsenal, whatever they may be, to really hope to use them in various different ways, disguise them in various different ways to where maybe it may seem like he has more than those weapons, but he probably only has those few choice weapons. Because I think to vary your arsenal to the degree you need to vary your arsenal against Mayweather, that takes years of boxing, you know? I think McGregor is a guy who has a lot of ability. He's a competitor. He's a winner more than anything else. The thing is, he's going to have his choice of weapons in that arsenal. They're not going to be very varied. He's not boxing long enough. But if he can disguise them in a way where they may look certain ways or maybe use different setups to use those kind of weapons or whatnot, maybe a couple of tricks in the pressure fighting game, a couple of tricks in the fighting and retreat game where you're counterpunching and whatnot, you know, varying and mixing your feints the right way. And, of course, all of that has to be done at the right moment because the right punch or the right move can become the wrong punch and the wrong move if it's done at the wrong moment. So, and those situations will only come down to the fighter in the moment, you know, because nobody can make that choice for him.
So, you know, for a lot of people, this is a spectacle, but for a lot of people, this is also a big deal, a big fight. So you needed to deliver just a little bit. You needed to deliver just a little, at least a little bit more than Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Let me ask a question because I find this interesting. I want to hear Paulie's answer. McGregor's not a boxer, okay? Because he's not a boxer, but he is a champion. Will he take chances early in the fight that an Andre Berto, a Robert Guerrero, whoever else wouldn't take? Because it's almost like he doesn't know better.
Yeah, I feel like he has to.
I mean,
I feel like he has to.
I think a champion goes into the ring, even in this fight, with the attitude that I'm going to win.
Yes, of course.
You know.
But a boxing champion goes in there when you're first round, you get your feel out round, and you know you have your hands up, and you change the looks, and you're scientifically studying, and you're throwing your shots just a little short because you want to see the reaction you get, so then you can know if you can step in the weight right where you want to step in. There's probing shots in the first round. I don't know if Conor understands that. We'll find out. I'm sure he understands that in an MMA fight. There's also probing shots, but he's never done this boxing thing. Is he going to come in understanding the psychological aspect of the probing shots and setting your distance in round one?
He might be better off not.
Or is he going to come out shooting? Because, of course, he might be better off not because Mayweather's a master at setting the distance.
If he doesn't come out shooting, he has zero chance to win.
Well, you guys, I'm a fan, so I'm not there at ringside with you guys, and I've watched all of Floyd's fights. I guess the small success I've seen against him, Maidana had some success against him in the first fight, and even Victor Ortiz before, what happened, the pressure and the kind of almost on top of him, kind of almost tackling, fouling him. Mm-hmm. I almost see that's the way Conor's going to go.
But Conor never fought that way in the UFC. Conor maximizes his distance with long left hands or kicks and whatnot. Conor's best asset to what his style is, he has a pretty style himself. He has that, extend my punches, snap them out type of style. So, I mean, if he starts mauling you, he's going to take away from his own style, number one. And number two, he's going to be outside of his own nature. You know what I mean? Even as by MMA standards, that's outside of his own nature. So I can't even see that, because it's not like he's a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're talking about a Randy Couture or something with him boxing. You can see him all on top of you, mauling you. I feel like Conor is not going to do any mauling because it's not in his nature to maul you even in the UFC, and even in a mixed martial arts fight,
It's a new world for him.
See, that's why Paulie get paid the big bucks. That was very important what he said. Listen, Conor is not an aggressive fighter. Just because he's from the UFC, don't believe that, he kick and he grapple and all that other shit. Nah, that's not his style. That's why I'm trying to explain to you, man. This fight is not going to be as easy as you guys think. Oh, yeah. This is not like a guy coming into the ring, some random dude from some random sport that have no boxing ability. Conor is a striker. Conor has a nice right hand, a beautiful left hand. He does throw jabs. He does understand boxing. He understands going to the body. He's a stand-up UFC fighter. You understand me? So when Floyd say that, he ain't just blowing smoke. He dead serious. Now, I'm leaning towards Conor in this fight, man. There's some things that he need to do in this fight. Paulie explained to you guys. weeks leading to the fight. I'll break it down. This is Casual Boxing Talk. This is Casual Boxing Talk TV. Don't forget to subscribe, people. Don't forget to like and share. And most importantly, hit the bell icon when you want to get